A warm welcome to the third edition of ISAW-2020, the IEEE workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications. It's my privilege to be a part of this grand event, which started the journey in 2018. In this edition also, we are honored with the presence of the luminaries of the discipline. For my doubt, I extend the gratitude towards all the health workers and others across the globe who are valiantly fighting the pandemic. This IEEE workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications, design, modeling, hardware and test is organized by MTTS and APS Kerala chapter and IEEE student branch of IAST in association with APS and MTTS student branch chapters of GC Barton Hill. As you're aware, we are going live on YouTube now. Before we officially kickstart the event, I would like to draw your attention to a few things. The participants will have the opportunity to submit their queries into the chat box. You may send your questions at any time during the talk. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of the talks. We also request you to turn off your audio and video and maintain the same throughout the entire session. Without much ado, I invite Dr. B.S. Manoj, IEEE IAST branch counselor, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Gobika. Good morning, Professor Yahia Antar, RMC Canada IEEE APS President, Dr. Sudhar Rao, Northrop Grumman, Dr. C.J. Reddy, Dr. Surendra Pal, Dr. Lars Forget, Dr. Rajiv Dodi, Dr. N.R. Prasad, Dr. Jahat, Dr. Shivanarayan, Dr. Lucia, and other dignitaries who are likely to speak at this event. A very good morning and welcome to this event. I would like to welcome Dr. Vikki Dadwal, Director IAST, who has been the chief patron and motivation behind this event ISAW. We have successfully conducted this event in the past, and this event is particularly important because of the format change. And in 2 days, 4 sessions, we have arranged a set of worldwide experts to speak to the student as well as professional membership of IEEE and others outside IEEE to this event. So, Dr. YVN Krishnamurthy has been really helpful to us in all the logistics and other helpful activities at IEEE, IAST, student branch, as well as APS and MTTS activities. So, Professor Virula Joseph Dean, students' activities has also been very, very helpful to us. So, all other dignitaries here today, not able to recollect everyone's name. I'm very glad to see your faces and hear your sounds, and welcome to this event. Last couple of years since the establishment of IEEE MTTS Society Kerala section, we have amplified the activities in this particular area along with the IEEE APS Society's activities. So IEEE student branch IAST has been really glad to help coordinate and as well as benefit from this kind of extremely high quality events for our membership. On behalf of IEEE student branch, IEEE MTTS Kerala Society chapter, IEEE APS Kerala Society chapter, I would like to welcome all of you to this high quality technical event lasting for 2 days and 4 sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Abdullah, APS Kerala Chair, to address the community.
Distinguished guests from India and abroad, and stalwarts of microwave community and dear participants. Good morning and good evening to one and all. I am privileged and excited to stand here in the midst of the inaugural ceremony of IEEE workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications conducted by IEEE APS and MTTS Kerala section. This event is the second episode organized mainly from IAST under the leadership of Dr. Chitmay Sharma. Comfort of their home, and also expecting a very energetic participation from each of you. As you are aware that it hit our education system most adversely than the other sectors of industries and business establishments. The students have been kept off their labs and practicals, drastically affecting their curricular experience. Nevertheless, we will survive this too. The long arc of history tells us we have every reason to be hopeful. By looking at the schedule of the workshop, a lot of eminent personalities and stalwarts around the globe in the antenna field are going to share their experiences and thoughts to the participants. This workshop will be a moral boost to the faculties, researchers, and students to enrich their knowledge in the antenna domain. IEEE APS Kerala section have also been actively conducting various types of programs. Last 4 months, every week, we had organized webinars related to antennas and microwave fields. I take this opportunity to announce that next Monday, that is December 14 to 16, Cochin University of Science.
Sir, you are on a mute.
Sir, you are muted, sir.
Sir.
Dr. Abdullah, you have got muted. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes,
You are hearing someone or?
you are okay now.
Okay. So where I stopped, I don't know. Was it hearing initially or so far it was?
For last 5 to 10 seconds, we did not hear you.
Okay, thank you. Then what I want to tell you that our IEEE APS Kerala section have also been actively conducting the various types of these types of programs. The last 4 months, every week, we had organized webinars related to antennas and microwave fields. So what I want to tell you that I take this opportunity to announce that the next Monday, that is from December 14 to 16, our CUSAC will organize the prestigious biennial international symposium on antennas and propagation, that is APSIUM. It is also sponsored by IEEE APS Kerala chapter. And thank you to everyone gathered in this meeting. And let us join hands for a better future as we try to make this earth a better place through our brains and works. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. We now request Dr. Vikki Dadwal, Director IIST, to inaugurate ISAW 2020.
Good morning, all the participants to this webinar. I'd like to specifically mention Dr. Abdullah, the chair, APS chair of Kerala, Professor Antar, the APS president-elect, Dr. Sudhakar Rao, Dr. Reddy, Dr. Sulinda Palji, Dr. Lars Foget, Rajiv Jyoti, Dr. Prasad, Dr. Chahat, Dr. Shiv Narayan, and Dr. Lucia. Some of you are either joining this at late night or very, very early morning for the Europe. I'd like to just mention that IIST is a small institute, just 100 faculty and 900 students. But to really ensure that our students learn and develop professionally, we are very much engaged with IEEE, the largest scientific society. So there are 4 student chapters functioning within the IIST, and my colleague faculty members are also encouraging students to actively participate. 3 of my colleagues are actually the associate editors in the IEEE journals. What we are looking at is to provide an opportunity to our all students to develop professional links, learn from the global experts, and really move ahead in their journey. In this regard, I would like to place on record the very pivotal role played by all you seniors who are the expert members in the microwave, all the areas. Although IIST has a very small focus on space only, but learning need not be focused. Learning obviously should be as broad-based as possible. Your work and application can definitely be focused. To my young colleagues, students, they are missing out on directly talking to the global experts. But the advantage is that we have been able to assemble more experts than would ideally would have been possible for the experts to spare time and travel to Trivandrum and India. So I would not like to take further time. You have a very hectic schedule ahead. I would like to inaugurate the IEEE workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications. And I would say, since you are not here, the invitation for you to come to IIST and Trivandrum still holds. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your support and wise words. Now I request Dr. Sharda Jayakrishnan, IEEE Kerala Section Chair, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Gopika. Thank you, Dr. Chitmay, for the kind invitation for the inaugural today of this 2-day event on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications. I am particularly enthused to note that there is also impetus on industrial applications that has been put to this 2-day events. I'm also very happy that this is a co-event including student chapters of both APS and MTTS. As everyone would be knowing, APS Kerala chapter is very active. It is one of the 13 chapters of ARTEN, and in 2018 had won the Outstanding Chapter Award. So all these paves way for the sections award that has come in 2020 as the Outstanding Large Section Award again after 2015. So thank you all volunteers, all IEEE members who had been part of this journey of Kerala section of close to 36 years. When the year started, actually, we had no clue what lied ahead of us. With the pandemic hitting in full speed, the section and its members quickly switched mode, giving utmost importance to the safety of the members while providing them opportunities for active engagement. And so I'm very glad and proud to know that we have completed close to 2,500 events. You just heard Dr. Chinmay and Dr. Abdullah mentioning about the kind of events that had happened on the online events that are still continuing in the online mode. So we have 4 AGs, affinity groups, including the LMAG, the Life Member Affinity Group, which is one of the most active and who provide guidance for the section as such. There are 11 society chapters, APS, MPTS, all part of it, multiple activity groups. So in fact, this year, and of course the student branches, they are the most active and what keeps us the vibrancy. So in fact, when this year started, we had decided on 2 strategic initiatives. One was for industry professionals, which is specifically coined as a strategic initiative on industry engagement, and the other was on academia engagement. So the industry engagement was specifically focused to showcase that here is IEEE, here is a pool of veterans and researchers and experts who is available in different arenas of technology and science, who could cater to the industries of Kerala specifically. So I'm very glad that this event very well correlates with the initiative. And Dr. Abdullah, Dr. Chinmay had all been part of this journey. I was also going through the website today of APS and very glad to note that the current president, Dr. Mahta, had specifically embarked on a journey of promoting equality, premised on the idea that science and technology are equalizing tools across the globe, and that there is always a requirement for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I understand that there is an ad hoc committee that's moving ahead. So the woman in engineering aspect also comes in, and I'm very glad that the generic initiatives of APS matches with what Kerala section has also been trying to see. So all the very best for this wonderful event for 2 days. I'm sure the students and also the young professionals will be gaining a lot from the stalwarts that are available today. Thank you again for being part of Kerala section and also the wonderful events that are catering. Thank you. Good luck for the event.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wishes. I now request Dr. Chitmay Saha, MTTS Kerala Chair, to take over the virtual podium.
Thank you very much. So firstly, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to the speakers and the participants all across the globe. We are really privileged to have amongst us our very beloved Dr. Vikki Dadwal, Director IIST, Dr. Yahia Antar, with whom I have personally spent time as my visiting professorship and postdoctoral fellowship at RMC Canada. Dr. Krishnamurthy, Dr. Podhar, who has been always very supportive, IEEE APS coordinator, Ms. Sharda Jayakrishnan, all the distinguished speakers, and my fellow office bearers and participants. Kerala and Trivandrum probably is known as God's own country and city of beautiful and pristine beaches. And also, but today I would like to mention that this particular city is city of knowledge, city of wisdom, thanks to the technical presence of all the dignitaries and antenna experts and microwave experts across the globe. So to start the year, as Sharda was mentioning, we had no clue what's going to happen in next few months. So around mid-March, or I would say rather early April, when India started going in lockdown, we from APS and MTTS Kerala chapter and also support from IIST student branches, IEEE student branches, we started different kind of educational activities, mainly in terms of the focused webinar, colloquium, panel discussions, to address the gathering, and that is one of the way we thought we academicians can combat against this particular pandemic. Not only the webinars, we started a new brand of events which was named as L4. There are 4 L's: learn from leaders and learn from legends. And as you know, these virtual events, it looks like it is much simpler to organize, but probably those who are organizing, they know, because these are in digital mode, there is always a possibility that you either get a 0 or 1. So at the background, there are a lot of efforts for which I would extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to the office bearers and the volunteers. And as you know, most of the focused conferences, both in AP and MTT society, including APS 2020, UCAP, and IMS, etc., all the conferences have gone virtual. So this is going to remain for a little bit more time, probably these virtual events, virtual workshop, virtual conferences, or probably next year some of the events will be in the hybrid mode. So this is going to remain there, and so this type of activities will try to continue for the benefits of the young students, professionals, and the scientists, of course. Coming to our activities and today's program, as Sharda already mentioned, IEEE Kerala section is one of the most vibrant section across the world, always within top 10 globally, and definitely within top 3 across India. And we at IEEE IIST, we have been benefited due to a lot of support from our institute. As of now, as you know, we have 4 IEEE student branches. We started with APS, and then we had MTTS, GRSS, and PES student branch chapters. And due to excellent synchronization and cohesion between the society chapters, both APS and MTTS, and these student branches, which later on we have, decentralized activities, and now we have another 5 APS student branches in different parts of the Kerala. We do a lot of activities during 2016 to 2019, and probably due to that, we got the Best Chapter Award, which was bestowed on us in Boston during 2018. And I would like to also mention, in the same year, IEEE IIST APS student branch got the Best Student Branch Chapter Award from the organizing committee of INCAP, which is the most prestigious conference, Indian Conference on Antennas and Propagation. And this is going to happen again this year virtually from December 18. And before that, as Dr. Abdullah mentioned, we have the APSIN, Antenna Propagation Symposium, because you know that Cochin University is very holistically organizing these events since 1986. And during my early career, I remember as a PhD student, I used to come here and to present my talk. So this is one of the most focused and most ancient APS conferences across India. So you should be tuned on that also. So now, because as I said that this initiative, the virtual initiative is, it has a genesis of our previous initiatives, and this ISAW 2020, we have changed the name this year. It is started from 2018, and that year itself we had Dr. Rao and other dignitaries. Dr. Nasir was also there on the speaker. So I'll take another couple of minutes or so to share a small presentation and just give some highlights about the today's event. So as already you have seen in the flyer, these are the expert speakers. Immediately after the inauguration and keynote talk by Dr. Antar, we'll have a couple of talks in the morning session and 2 more talks in the evening session today. And there will be another 4 talks, 2 in morning and 2 in the evening tomorrow. So this is excellent pool of speakers, as I mentioned informally before the program, that we are covering Indian space, Indian defense, and geographically we are covering different parts of the country, including Canada, US, and some of the European colleagues. And this is the today's virtual podium. We have the dignitaries. We are really proud and privileged to have all of you, including Dr. Podhar, Dr. Siddiqui, and others. As I mentioned, that this chapter is very active and vibrant. We do a lot of activities. This particular event, which was 10 Grass 2019, which was a co-organized event with TENCON, IEEE Kerala sections, probably one of the largest event that has happened in 2019 at Kochi. So during that, we had excellent pool of speakers, and this was organized by MTTS and APS Kerala chapter. We at IIST inculcate the importance of embedding the concept of antennas and microwave to the young students. Even for the school students, we do some activities to make them aware about the IEEE and APS and MTTS fronts. This is a snap that I wanted to share proudly, that this was the moment when we inaugurated MTTS Kerala chapter with the presence of Dr. Chattopadhyay from JPL NASA, and also Professor Shibon Kaul, who is the regional coordinator from MTT Society. And as I mentioned, that this is just not a lockdown activities. It is genesis, and it's as a heritage. We started this activity, ISAW. This year we have changed the name in 2018 and 2019. We had, you can see the pictures in the first year we had Dr. Rao. Next year also he came, and we had other pool of speakers, including Professor Anandan, Dr. Raghavan, and our colleagues from space and industry. So these are some of the new initiatives that I mentioned earlier, that 5 APA student branches have emerged. This year, as a part of pandemic activities, we did All Kerala APA Student Conclave, where we had an excellent panel discussion, where we had the president-elect himself present, and these are the panel members that we had. And we have done plethoras of high-quality activities, talks, webinars. These are some of the snaps. And as I mentioned, this initiative, Learn from Leaders and Learn from Legends, is one of the hallmark of our 2020 events, where we are trying to bring some experts, little bit senior people who have spent a lot of time in their career in technical fronts as well as administrative fronts, so that young leaders and young researchers can learn a lot from them. So this is the agenda and the talk we are going to have now. And these are the 2 talks. In the morning session, we have Dr. Rao and then Dr. Nasser, then 2 more talks in the evening, and then same format we have tomorrow, morning session and evening session. Just to mention to the audience that this panel discussion that will be happening at 8 p.m. tomorrow, that is going to be one of the most theme-based panel, where we will be discussing on different research opportunities and challenges on antenna fronts. So those who are going to start their research activities or who are in early career of their research, this is a must attend show for all of you. So thank you very much with this again. And as I mentioned, I hope this particular initiative will give a new impetus to all of you, and will be getting benefited from these events. So with this, I conclude my talk. Again, welcoming all the experts, all the dignitaries, and acknowledging all the supports from all the leaders from all fronts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Ajay Podhar, IEEE APS MGA R10 head, to address the gathering.
Is Dr. Podhar there? Gopika, I believe Dr. Podhar couldn't join, maybe due to something. So you can proceed on the next thing.
Okay, sir. So now I invite Dr. YVN Krishnamurthy, Registrar IEST, to address the gathering.
Morning and good evening to many of the colleagues who are participating from the other part of the world. And it's a pleasure, Dr. Chitmay Saha and the team, which I've seen Dr. Abdullah and Dr. Sharda, other people, colleagues, doing a great job in this part of the country on this very, very specific subject which has been brought in. It's a pleasure to see my seniors and like Dr. Sulinda Palji, who is a former distinguished scientist from ISRO and then Vice Chancellor, and he immensely contributed for ISRO, and his colleagues like Rajiv Jyoti also will be speaking from ISRO on this subject. So one way the pandemic has brought in an opportunity for all the youngsters to come through and have a dialogue and hear to the leaders and legends in this specific field. And I also had a lot of learning from Dr. Sudhakar Rao last time when he came to Trivandrum. That's why my first meeting with him. See, it's not just in the subject specialist which happens. Whenever we have an opportunity to learn from others, it also goes across other disciplines in which we can do. What I learned is the IEEE, and also I should, the president-elect of IEEE, Professor Antar, who is here, will also be giving the keynote address. Such eminent people in this field are available here. But what I learned from, though we are a short team at IAST, you're all aware, National Remote Sensing Center is the focal point for all the Earth observation satellite data reception and dissemination. And the tri-feed antenna design for such center has been provided by my colleagues from IIST. And also for space application center, certain things which is needed, they do support as an academic institution their role, and it is going to become more bigger in this nature. And especially giving opportunity for the students, what I observed is most importantly their confidence. They themselves arrange the programs and they also conduct. And also most importantly, what I liked is the 3 minutes talk on the research subjects. And that gives us confidence that what we can deliver from an academic institution, because I'm in the academics only for the last 2 years. Previously, I'm from ISRO and more of a technology and applications person. And has given confidence. That means in 5 to 6 months, we'll be able to deliver indigenous gas sensors for the crew module. That may be different from the subject, but the an individual who attends a program of this nature gets that on what you can bid from the youngsters and what we can deliver. And this is more important when we are talking about the industry and the opportunities which is being given in the country today on Atmanirbhar and the support given for the youngsters. So hearing to the legends and the leaders, it gives the youngsters an opportunity that what they can do to become an entrepreneur themselves. And also quite a few entrepreneurs are going to speak importantly from this. So this is where it makes a lot of difference. One way, yes, we are not able to meet one another and exchange entries individually, but then it's an opportunity for getting experts from across the globe and to do, though I know there is little inconvenience for people from other part of the globe to participate, but it's really kind of them, and also see them once through video, and then wish all the best and many more youngsters who will be the future entrepreneurs will. But please understand that in any of these technologies, you have to take an element of risk. In fact, last time when I heard Dr. Sudhakar Rao, how do they negotiate in a project where there are so many uncertainties? But how do you bid for that? And it is not that we go back to our drawing board and then design and then come back. At an instance, when you had to negotiate an important project, you negotiate then and there itself and finalize. Later on, work on what are the board wise which we had to do. See, these are all great points which people tell us that how to go in when the technology is changing so fast. And it's I thank the IEEE chapter Kerala and especially the Trivandrum to organize such, and along with the student branch that gives a lot of motivation. At a young stage, you are trying to nurture and mold youngsters to get into bigger challenging tasks, which is needed in the hour when talking about, especially from space for planetary related or certain 5G related, which will come, and all the things I think are being discussed. And also, what is the best? I think Sulinda Palji is also talking about noise. We always ignore noise. We always look at signal only, but noise also has given so much of information to the world over, which is very, very valuable from many of the space missions. What we look at. All the best for this conference of 2 days, and wish many people will get enlightened like me, which happened for me in participating 2 or 3 events of this. Though at this senior level, I'm able to learn many things. That means youngsters can learn much more than what it can. Keep doing it, and I wish all the best, and definitely you will get more laurels. And Dr. Chinmay and Manoj from my institute and others from IEEE across the globe, and have a great event in this session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your wishes. Now I invite Dr. Surendra Pal, IAST, to say a few words.
Gopika. So we have felicitation address now, right?
Hello, sir.
We have felicitation address now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So thank you, sir, for your wise words and your wishes. Now I invite Dr. Surendra Pal from ISAW to say a few words.
Good morning, Professor Dadwal, Dr. Krishnamurthy, Professor Antar, my friend Dr. Sudhakar Rao, Chinmay, Gopika, and Abdullah, and others. It's a really great thing that Kerala section is doing. I'm reminded of my stay in Trivandrum in 70s, early 70s, maybe when we were trying to do something under IEEE at that time, but there was hardly anything we could do. So we did try to do in IET also, but now I know with the Cochin University, I was associated with the EPSM for a long time, and I have met Dr. Sudhakar Rao also there. I'm really happy that Professor Nair started those activities there. Now the same thing is being continued. Now, in a rigorous way, activities are being started by Dr. Chinmay Shah and others. And I know IST supports all these activities because that's the culture of ISRO to support any new technical activity, be it for students or anybody else. I wish good luck for the conference, and I'm really happy that the topics which are covered will motivate the students and researchers to do something new. And I always, my email is available with Chinmay. If any researcher wants my help, yes, in this, digital mode, it's very easy. And it's, whatsoever knowledge we got in the ISRO, because we started in ISRO from the scratch. There was hardly anything when we started the activities in VSSC or when we started in IJAC or SAC. There was no equipments, no nothing. So ISRO did really wonderfully well. Not only ISRO, defense did it because I'm associated with defense in the later part of this one. And then also academic institutions have done wonderfully well in the field of electromagnetics, communication, and microwaves and microwave theory and technique section. And all IEEE sections are doing wonderfully well. And Bangalore section is doing very well. And Ahmedabad section also is doing quite a good activities. Added to that one, Calcutta section has started in CAP. It's going around the country. That's where Dr. Sudhakar is also associated. So I must say, it's for the information of Professor Antar that a lot of activities are going on in the field of electromagnetics, microwaves, and communications in this country. And there's another chapter which I think I'll request Professor Dadwal to start it. That's a AES chapter in Trivandrum because Trivandrum is hub of aerospace activities, so you can start AES chapter also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Sudhakar Rao, Northrop Grumman, USA, to address the gathering.
Good day to all of you, all the participants, global participants across Asia, North America, and Europe. So this workshop on advanced antennas for space and industry is a well-organized workshop. It has all aspects of antennas, design, simulations, hardware, test, everything. I think you can hear from the speakers. You do not find the information what is provided here in any textbooks or papers. So this is based on the gained by experts in the industry. So I think listen carefully, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate or questions. So unlike other workshops, all the experts are, like I said, from industry. So as attendees, you will learn a lot. And I think your participation and interaction is very important. I think over the past, several years, I've been giving talks, attending workshops, conferences. But in my opinion, this is probably the best workshop organized in recent times. And thanks to Professor Chinmay Saha for organizing such high quality work and inviting world-class experts, speakers from antenna industry. So he has organized similar workshops over the, I think in 2018 and 2019, where I was at, and those workshops are also well organized, and I think it probably limited about 100 participants because of real situation. But now I expect more people can join. because it's free. So I find that IIST students are very high caliber and very good, and they get very high quality education from the staff of IIST. And thanks to all the staff and faculty supporting working in IIST. Secondly, I like to thank Professor Yahia Antar. I think we go a long way. During my Canadian days, I think probably for 35 years back. So I'm glad that he is the IEEE APS president-elect. I think a lot of people from India supported, and I think I'm sure that he is a big supporter of actually Indian conferences. He told me once that he attended more conferences than me, and which I agree, because I has been to Patna and various remote places, Northeast, which I have never been to. I think he's in that way, I think he's a big supporter of conferences in India. Finally, I also like to thank IST Director, Professor Dadwal, and Professor Krishnamurthy, whom I met last time, and Professor Manoj. I think I met you also, one of those workshops, I believe. And you guys are really doing great at IST with, I think your labs, I think when I visited, I think they're not there yet. I believe, I think you're doing the anechoic chamber that time. I think the buildings were under construction. So I hope you have all the labs now, I think, to test all your antennas. So what I want to say here to attendees is innovation is very important. So it has tremendous impact on commercial and military products. It also has significant impact on economic and societal factors. So imagine what we'll be doing without electricity, without light bulb, and without automobile. We'll be just sitting isolated and sitting in our village without anything. So we will not be having this meeting without inventions like computers, internet, and cell phones. And GPS is another great invention. So IEEE motto is foster innovation for the benefit of mankind, which is very apt and very, I think IEEE supports a lot of activities like that. And currently US government is planning to spend about $100 billion in the next 5 years through what is called Endless Frontiers Act. So this is to maintain the global leadership in 10 different technology areas, and advanced communication systems is one of them. So there's a lot of impetus on innovation in recent times. So my suggestions to students is train well, read a lot, be familiar with software and hardware, and understand the basics. That's very important. You can do all sophisticated things, but without the basic knowledge, you cannot do anything. So if you have the basic knowledge and basic training, and you also need to know how to apply the basic knowledge to whatever you're doing. So that is very important. Then you will become outstanding engineer in future. Wish you all good luck, and thanks to the organizing committee for making this workshop happen. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. J.Y. Siddiqui, IEEE APS Regional Coordinator, to say a few words.
So, good morning, dignitaries. Good morning, Dr. Dadwal, Director IST, Professor Antar, President-elect IEEE APS AP Society, Dr. Paul, Dr. Rao, Dr. Manoj, Dr. Krishnamurthy, Dr. Shah, and Dr. Abdullah, and other students and members who are attending this event. It's a pleasure for me to attend this event and to talk about the APS activities that is going on in India. Like, I have the pleasure to mention here that Kolkata in 2004 formed the first AP chapter in India. And since then, we have been working hard in gathering APS members all around India. And then Dr. Shah, who came in, was a PhD student, and then he took up the activities. He acted very focusedly in making these events, see the light of the day. He has worked with for the AEMC conferences, for the Indian Antonary conferences, and from there he goes to Kerala, and then he has formed one of the active chapters in that region. I must say, as a regional coordinator, I would like to see these kind of events being emulated by other chapters all over India. But I can say that's hard to do because, like during the pandemic, this Kerala chapter section itself, they organized 2,500 events, and that is a lot. But then still, I would request other chapter members, other chapters in India to emulate, these activities all over India. It should be spread all over India, and there should be some handshaking modes, and learn from these events, and other chapter chairs in other parts of India should take cue from these events. I'm extremely glad to know that this workshop, which is a workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications, it started in 2018. And I still remember after the IMARC event in 2018 in Kolkata, Chinmay, he conceived this event before that, and he invited the dignitaries attending IMARC to go to Kerala to attend this event. And it has taken a shape, and it has holistically been organized in 2018, 2019, and 2020, and hope it will be a regular event in the coming years. In this context, organizing events in IIST, I've always seen, and I appreciate the motivation and the patronage provided by Director Professor Vikki Dadwal. I've seen him attending personally every event and motivating students and the organizers, and that has been of immense help. I would also request other, directors and head of the institutions in other regions, in other institutes in all over India, to show this kind of impetus and encouragement, so that activities and these at this scale could be carried out in other institutions in India. And last but not the least, I thankful to Dr. Shah, and I wish this event good luck to the students who will be attending this event and learning more from this event, and to the student chapters. The students have been they have been enormously active in these events, and their flyers and all their organizing capabilities. They are honing their skills, and they will become the future leaders, and I wish them luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm wishes. Now I request Dr. Nasser Chahat from JPL NASA to say a few words.
You caught me by surprise. 1 second. Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here and attending. I was there, I think it was 2 years ago, 2 years in a row, actually. It was my pleasure to interact with the student. I was actually really impressed by Professor Saha students. I had a very good conversation with them, and I was actually hoping that I could be there in person so I could interact more with them. So it's always my pleasure to give presentation here, because I know that the audience will be highly receptive, and they are also highly motivated and very passionate about radio frequency. And so I hope that through this talk that they will hear today, they will be able to assimilate as much as possible and try to interact with us by asking us as many questions as possible. So thank you for the organizer for inviting us again. The work that you guys are doing over there to try to bring as much speakers, invited speakers from all around the world is very impressive. So it's obviously always my pleasure to contribute. So thank you for having me.
Nicely dressed, Nasa. Very nicely dressed. I think I have to go and change now.
Thank you, sir. So now I invite Professor Yahia Antar, IEEE APS President-elect 2020, for the keynote talk and the presidential address.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Well, thank you all. I am really honored and impressed, and I thank you all for arranging that. I should start by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you and to all the participants. And this is wonderful. This is a wonderful event. I really honored and privileged to address you on behalf of the President of the Antennas and Propagation Society, MATA, and the officers of society and the AirCom, and many volunteers that work in the society. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the organizers. I'd like to thank ISAW. I'd like to thank the director and Dr. Dadwal, Registrar Murthy, and other officials. ISRO has been wonderful. They've been supporting many things. I also appreciate the effort by the IEEE section officials here, Dr. Manoj and Dr. Abdullah and Dr. Jayakrishnan. We talked today. The section in Kerala has been very, very active and very envied by many sections around IEEE. And this is an example here, doing this at difficult times. These difficult times that we have, and as we heard before, presented at one time a crisis to us, and as they say, in every crisis there is an opportunity. And this is a good opportunity that we have in this workshop and so on. So this is an opportunity to get to all of us to talk and meet and so on. You have been very active. You have organized many things, and I understand this is the third time such workshop in there. The organizers, and especially Chinmay, have been very, very active, and they got to be congratulated on this effort here. You, the community in India, as Dr. Paul mentioned, I have been to India many times, so I'm familiar with various parts of the country. I attended many conferences and so on, but I see the section in Kerala is really one of the very active ones. Your community in general, with about 1,000 members or more in the IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society, have been very active. It has many, many talented and individuals and many chapters and so on. So I hope you keep the activities and you spread it around the country and so on. This is very important. This is important for the future education, important for training the future leaders of our society. And I'll just put on my IEEE hat a bit. And as we all know, the IEEE is the biggest organization in the professional organization in the world. And the slogan there is technology for the benefit of humanity. Well, Antennas and Propagation Society is doing the same thing. And we can say electromagnetics for the benefit of humanity. And as addressed by many speakers before me, our work and our effort go on long way to help humanity, and electromagnetics is a vital thing in our lives. You are very active, and as was mentioned by previous speakers, you have a conference coming next Monday, I believe. I had the honor of attending this conference sometime around 2007. And you also have had other workshop, and then you have the INCAP conference coming later on. And I'm looking forward to attending that. And I discussed this with the other member of society, and the society is going to support you in every way that is possible. We're all working toward the same goal, that to help education, help the electromagnetic community, and so on. As I take over the next year, I'm getting to learn more about the Antennas and Propagation Society, and I'd really like to bring to your attention to many opportunities and many avenues that I sometimes myself didn't know about it until I took over and got involved in many activities of society. There is wealth of opportunities, and there is many challenges and that society offer. And as I said, I encourage you to be part of the responsibilities and to promote and communicate as aspects of society and benefit from it. The Antenna and Propagation Society is in a very good shape, has many activities. After all, it is our society. It is yours. You own it. Members own it. So try to benefit from it as much as you can. And, there is many opportunities there. I wish Ajay Podhar was in today to talk about some of it. But there is many committees. Beside the committees that do the administrative work, there are many other committees that are looking for participation from you. They're looking for ideas, and they're looking for opportunities to serve in the community. I'm talking here, if you get onto the website of the IEEE Antennas Propagation Society, you can see the Education Committee. I'm just citing some example, the Members Geographical Activities Committee, the Meeting and the Conference Committee, the Site Committee, which has had many activities in India as well, and Jawad was involved in that. And recently, we actually formed a new committee called COPE, Committee on Promotion of Equity. I heard from the speakers today about equity, inclusion, and diversity, and I add to that transparency. The society offers transparency as well. And that committee is actually going to, it's being championed by Wing Chu, one of the former presidents of the AP Society. And the committee has been approved. It has allocated a big financial budget, and it is actually to promote equity and diversity in the developing and also in the developed countries. The committee is looking for ideas, looking for participation, and it has many activities. And just to give you an example, it's looking for something like promoting internet in developing countries. Ideas go to the promoting education of electromagnetics. They are actually going to get high schools and undergraduates involved around the world. This is kind of the activities the committee looking at. It's not a secret that around 4 billion people around the world do not have fast-speed internet. And this is one of the activities that the committee is looking at. So hope you all get involved. And I also learned about more activities that the IEEE as a whole offers. I don't know how many of you are familiar with some committees like Future Direction Committee, which actually has roadmaps for technology and so on. You can get onto the website of IEEE and find out more about that. There is the IEEE Learning Network. There is many other things. So you need to get onto that and look for ways to benefit from this and, put it to the benefit. And I think the workshops like this could actually invite people from the IEEE as a whole to give some talks about that and so on. And this is a good opportunity to do that. On behalf of the society, I really thank you all again. And I'd like in particular to thank the volunteers who are giving the talks that will follow. I think the organizers assembled quite a list of distinguished speakers in various areas. And this, is very impressive. I see the list here. Well, if I go through the list, Dr. Rao will, I guess we have been acquainted since you said 35 years or more. So you're going to have an interesting talk, state of the art. I see also Dr. C.J. Reddy is on the list. And Dr. Reddy and myself, we know each other since a long time. And you're going to have an interesting talk on antenna modeling and so on. Dr. Paul, well, I've been at ISRO for a long time, and I understand you have over 40 years experience. So I'd look forward to listening to your talk and so on. I see Dr. Lars Forge and Lucia from Italy, and I think we're talking to antenna measurements. This is very important. Measurements is the final ultimate verification of any work we do in antenna. So that's going to be very interesting. Dr. Nasser Kahat, I never, I didn't have the honor of meeting him, so I look forward to meeting him sometime. Same thing with Dr. Prasad. Rajiv Jyoti, well, we met in Ahmedabad, and I look forward to seeing your interesting talks on phased arrays. And I think Dr. Narayan as well. Look forward to your talk. So for all the speakers, I thank you all on behalf of the Antennas and Propagation Society for giving your time and your expertise. And I'm honored to have known of you, and I'd like to meet you all sometime in the future, as well as all the speakers and all the participants. So this is a good opportunity. Thanks again to all the organizers for doing that. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you all in the future, and have a very good conference, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your support and motivation. I now invite Professor Anu Mohammed, Joint Secretary, IEEE MTTS Kerala, to express the vote of thanks.
On behalf of APS and MTTS Kerala section, APMTT, SB chapters, IAST and GC Bartonel, I am very proud to welcome all for this two-day workshop on advanced antennas for space and industrial applications. I would like to thank Dr. Yahia Antar, IEEE President-elect, Royal Military College, Canada, for accepting our invitation for presidential address and also associating and supporting in all our activities. We are very much grateful to you, sir, for coming in the early morning and sharing your valuable time with us. We are thankful to Dr. S. Rao of Northrop Grumman for making this event realistic right from the scratch amidst his busy schedule. Thanks, Rao, sir, for your support to the annual workshops we had during 2018, 19, and the efforts you put in the 2020. We are very elated to have Dr. Vikki Dadwal, Director IIST, Dr. YVN Krishnamurthy, Registrar IIST, Dr. Kuruvila Joseph, Dean Student Activities, Dr. BS Manoj, Branch Counselor, IIST, Dr. Deepak Mishra, HOD Avionics, Dr. Abdullah, APS Kerala Chair, Dr. Aprin TJ, and obliged all for accepting our invitation and supporting us within their capacities. I'd like to thank all the office bearers, APMDT, start
I believe there is some audio issue. Anu? Can volunteers and others hear Anu Muhammad?
No, sir, he's inaudible.
Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah, so there is some technical glitch. So I'll close this vote of thanks. So already, we are really thankful to all of you, to all the speakers, the dignitaries, and office bearers, volunteers, especially the student volunteers who always will be in the background or doing various events, not only this one, but the previous events also. As a part of our chapter activities, we try to acknowledge their support by various kind of student awards and kind of felicitation during some events. So I hope all of you will remain motivated like you had been for many years. So yeah, and special mention to the speakers and also
yes, sir.
Anu, are you
Yes, sir.
there?
Hello, sir.
Oh, you are back. Then you close it.
I would like to thank all the attendees from industries and faculty members from universities for attending the two-day workshop, and I am happy with the enthusiasm shown by the student community who attended the inaugural function, and would suggest them to keenly follow the two-day workshop and utilize the APMTT platform to reach, interact, and associate with the experts in the coming sections, and join these kind of society chapters and get yourselves technically benefited. I would like to thank the office bearers of APS and MDT's Kerala section, and also Sharda ma'am for the initiatives we are taking on. And with this concluding, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request all the distinguished guests, participants, and the office bearers and volunteers to please turn on your video so that we can have a virtual photo shoot.
I take your permission. My daughter wants to be part of the photo, so she has. She's
Yeah,
sitting
so
in there.
lovely.
Done, Sivada?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.